everyone. Welcome to Mega ResoFAST 2025 paper discussion. Hopefully you all have given very well the exam today, and I am Akhilesh Prakash over here to discuss the questions of physics. So let's start our discussion. Coming on the first question. So as per first question, the initial speed of a body of mass 10 kg is 7 meter per second for 5 seconds. A force acts on the body in the direction of motion. The force time graph is shown in the figure. The speed of body at t is equal to 5 seconds is. So we know that ft graph is given and area under ft graph gives us impulse, right? So area under ft graph, here I will be equal to area under ft graph. So we can see for finding the area, this is our first triangle. So I can write half into base is 2 and height is 3 plus next is rectangle. So length into breadth 1 into height is breadth is 3 plus this is trapezium. The next figure, this figure is trapezium. This figure is trapezium. So here the formula is half into height into base 1 plus base 2. So I can write half into height is 1 bracket base 1 is 3 plus base 2 is 5 plus next is rectangle. So I can write length 1 into the base is 5, right? So calculating this, we'll get 3 plus 4, 5 plus 3, 8, 4 plus 5, right? So it came as 15 Newton second. This is what we have calculated just now, impulse. Impulse we have calculated, and it is asking speed of the body at t is equal to 5. T is equal to 5 seconds, means final speed it is asking, final velocity it is asking. And we also know one thing, impulse momentum theorem. From that we know impulse is equal to change in momentum. So we can also write change in momentum. We know impulse is equal to change in momentum. So change in momentum is equal to mv minus mu, right? So this can be written as mv minus u. And just now we have calculated the impulse, which is equal to 15 Newton second. And here this 15 Newton second is equal to change in momentum as well. So here we can write 15 is equal to mass of the body is given 10. So 10 v minus u, initial velocity is given, initial speed is given 7 meter per second. So v will be equal to 1.5 plus 7. V will be equal to 1.5 plus 7. So it is approximately equal to 8.5 meter per second. Yes, 8.5 meter per second in the option B. Option B is the correct answer for this question, 8.5 meter per second, right? Okay, next, proceeding on the next question. So here, this question says that two blocks of mass 4 kg and 8 kg are kept in a lift. Accelerating upward. This lift is moving upward with an acceleration of 5 meter per second. This lift is accelerating upward with an acceleration of 5 meter per second. So as shown in the given figure, select the incorrect statement. We have to select the incorrect statement. So statement 1, as per statement 1, it is saying the normal force between block of mass 8 kg and floor of the lift is 180 Newton. Isn't it that we have to check? So it is asking basically at this point the normal force it is asking, right? So for the normal force acting over at this point, the total load, we should know the total load acting at this point will be the normal force. So normal force we know that is equal to mass into acceleration. But acceleration, what acceleration we will take over here? The effective acceleration. Why? The lift is also moving up with 5 meter per second and per second square. At the same time, the g is also acting over there. So effective acceleration we will take. So effective acceleration will be equal to 10 plus 5, which is 15 meter per second square. So normal force at between 8 kg and floor. So here mass, total mass is 8 plus 4, that is 8 plus 4, that is 12 kg, right? And acceleration, effective acceleration is 15. So if we will calculate, so it will come as 180. Yeah, correct. So normal force between the block of mass 8 kg and the floor of the lift is 180 Newton. So as per our calculation, this statement is correct, right? Now moving on the second statement. The normal force between the blocks of mass 8 kg and 4 kg is 80 Newton. Now it is asking the normal force between the masses at this position between the blocks of 4 kg and 8 kg. So for calculating the normal force over here, so N2 should be equal to mass into effective acceleration. So normal force which will be acting between these blocks will be equal to the load acting over there. So load mass is 4 kg only. So this here mass we will take 4 kg and effective acceleration we have calculated, that is 15 meter per second square. Mass we will take 4 kg and effective acceleration is 15 meter per second square. So this will be equal to 60 Newton, right? So this is the normal force we have calculated just now. So as per this statement is wrong because it is saying it is 80 Newton, but it's wrong. That is 60 Newton. Now third statement, normal force is always perpendicular to the plane surface at the point of contact. So it's very clear from the statement itself that this statement is absolutely correct, right? So what question was asking us? Select the incorrect statement. So among this, which one is incorrect? Second one only. So option is saying first and second only. No. B. Second only. Yeah. B. So this is our correct answer for this question, right? Moving ahead to the next question. So next question says that a solid cylinder of height h, cross-sectional area A and density 1.40 into 10 to the power 3 kilogram per meter cube is immersed completely in a mixture of liquid. So this height, cross-sectional area and density of the cylinder is given, and this cylinder is immersed completely in a mixture of liquid such that it floats with its axis vertical at the liquid-liquid interface with the length 3h by 4 in laser dense liquid. 3h by 4 in laser dense liquid as shown in the figure. The laser dense liquid is open to atmospheric pressure P0 if the density of laser dense liquid is 1 into 10 to the power 3 kilogram per meter cube, then the density of denser liquid will be, right? So in the question the density of this liquid is given, laser dense liquid is given, right? And it is saying that this cylinder is immersed in laser dense liquid. How much part it is immersed? 3h by 4. How much part of the cylinder is immersed in laser dense liquid? That is 3h by 4. So if I assume the total height of this cylinder is h, if I assume total height of the cylinder is h, if I assume total height of the cylinder is h and 3h part is immersed in the liquid, laser dense liquid, 3h part is in laser dense liquid. So remaining part h minus 3h by 4, we will get h by 4, right? We'll get h by 4. So as per the law of flotation, weight of the cylinder should be equal to the total buoyant force acting on the cylinder. As per law of flotation, weight of this cylinder which is immersed in this liquid, this should be equal to the total buoyant force acting on the cylinder. Weight of cylinder should be equal to total buoyant force acting on the cylinder. Now, total buoyant force acting on the cylinder. So, we can observe from here two liquids are there. One is less dense, another one is more dense. So, if the total weight we have to total buoyant force. So, buoyant force acting on the cylinder due to liquid 1 and buoyant force acting on the cylinder due to liquid 2. So, buoyant force acting on cylinder due to liquid 1 plus buoyant force acting on cylinder due to liquid 2, right? liquid 1 is less denser. I am assuming liquid 1 is less denser, which is given in the question. Liquid 2 is more denser, right? So weight of the cylinder. How to calculate the weight of the cylinder? Weight is equal to mg, mass into acceleration due to gravity, right? But mass is not given over here. Mass is not given in the question. So how can we calculate the mass? For calculating the mass, we know the formula m is equal to rho v. We know the formula m is equal to rho v. So at the place of m, we can write rho v. So density of cylinder into volume of cylinder, not velocity, volume of cylinder. Density of cylinder into volume of cylinder, and g. This will be equal to here FB, buoyant force acting on the cylinder due to liquid 1. So V rho G. We know the formula, buoyant force V rho G. So V1 rho 1 and G plus V2 rho 2 G, right? Now V1 is not known to us. Volume is not given. Sorry, volume is not given. So what we will do? If volume is not given, but at the same time we can observe area and height of the cylinder is known. So at the place of volume, we can write area into height is equal to volume. That we know that. So here we can write area for V1. Area of the cylinder into height. Height till where the cylinder is immersed in liquid 1. So the height is 3h by 4. So it will be 3h by 4 into G into rho 1, density of liquid 1 plus V2, area into height h by 4 into density of liquid 2 into G, right? Clear? Next, here also volume, total volume of the cylinder it is asking. So total volume of the cylinder we can write as area into height of the cylinder into G. This will be equal to, if I am taking area, height and acceleration due to gravity common from this, so we can see area, height into acceleration due to gravity common if I am taking. So this equation will become 3 by 4 into rho 1 plus 1 by 4 into rho 2, right? 3 by 4 into rho 1 plus 1 by 4, h by 4 was there, so 1 by 4 rho 2, right? So area, height and acceleration due to gravity. These all three variables will be cancel out with each other. So finally we are having density of cylinder is equal to 3 by 4th lesser denser liquid plus 1 by 4th more dense liquid, rho 2, right? And we have to calculate rho 2, the density of more denser liquid. So from this equation we can write 4 density of cylinder, 4 into density of cylinder is equal to 3 into rho 1 plus rho 2, right? So this rho 2 will be equal to 4 into density of cylinder minus 3 into rho 1. Clear? Now we will substitute their values which is given in the question itself. So here we can see density rho 2, density of more denser liquid will be equal to 4 into density of cylinder. Density of cylinder is given 1.40 into 10 to the power 3 kilogram per meter cube minus 3 into density of less denser liquid is also given 1 into 10 to the power 3, right? So this will become rho 2 will be equal to 5.6 into 10 to the power 3, 5.6 into 10 to the power 3 minus 3 into 10 to the power 3, right? So this will become 2.6 into 10 to the power 3 kilogram per meter cube. This is our answer for density of more denser liquid. So 2.6, option C. We can see option C, 2.6 into 10 to the power 3 kilogram per meter cube. Clear? Okay, moving ahead on the next question. So let's see next question. Fine. Some identical particles of masses m and one with mass capital M are arranged in 4 configuration as shown in the given figures. So there are 4 figures P, Q, R and S. In this we have to check there are small m and capital M are the masses kept over here and add some arrangements. So question is asking us, arrange the given configuration from greatest to least according to the magnitude of the gravitational force, according to the magnitude of gravitational force on capital M, on capital M. So in the first figure, figure P, if we will calculate the force, this capital M, so F1, force F1 due to the first mass F1, it will be equal to, we know, G capital M small m by R square. We know the formula, capital M, capital G, capital M by R small m by R square. So in place of R square, the distance is given A. So I'll write over here A square, right? Now force 2 acting on capital M due to this mass. So it will be equal to capital G, capital M, small m by the distance of this mass from the capital M is 2A. So I am writing 4A square because formula is capital G M1 M2 by R square. This is the formula for calculating the gravitational force, right? So F net, if I'll calculate F net at point P, then it should be equal to F1 plus F2. So F1 is capital G, capital M, small m by A square plus F2 is capital G, capital M, small m by 4A square. So when we will calculate this, it will be 5 by 4, capital G, capital M, small m by A square, right? If in decimal we will write, so it will come like 1.25 capital G, capital M, small m by A square, right? Now moving on the next at point Q. So here we can see the forces acting on capital M is equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. The forces acting at point M is equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. So at point Q, the net gravitational force is 0, right? Now coming on the R, figure R. Here we can see the masses are kept at right angles. So we will apply Pythagoras theorem for calculating the net force at figure R. So force at R will be equal to under root F1 square plus F2 square, right? Applying Pythagoras theorem over here. So we can see, since magnitude of the forces are same, so F square plus F square, it will be equal to 2F square under root 2F square. So this can be further written as under root 2 into F, and value of under root 2 is 1.414, and in place of F we will write capital G, capital M, small m by A square, right? This is the net force acting at point R. Now at point S, so by seeing the configuration, they all are at equal degrees, 120 degree, and of equal magnitude. The forces acting at point M, acting in this figure, the forces at point M is all of equal magnitude. We know that vector sum of three forces of equal magnitude is 0. Vector sum of three forces of equal magnitude is 0. So vector sum over here, Fs will be equal to 0. Net force acting over here will be 0, right? So the greatest force we have to find first. Which one is greatest one? So 1.25, 1.41. So Fr, net force, gravitational force acting over capital M in figure R is greatest. Next is 1.25, gravitational force in figure P on capital M over here is next. So R is greatest, P is second, and next Q and S both are same. Q and S both are same. So option A. Option A is correct answer for this question, right? Okay, moving ahead to the next question. Fine. Here it is a match the following. So match column 1 with column 2 and select the correct option from the given codes. Correct option from the given codes, right? So in column 1, P. When a body does work against friction, its kinetic energy. What happens to its kinetic energy when a body works against the friction? So from the option we have to select which can be the best suitable option column for this. So can be positive, negative or 0. So this is not suitable, must be negative, force must be conservative, decreases, force must be non-conservative. So it is asking its kinetic energy decreases. When a body does work against friction, its kinetic energy decreases. So this will be for P, decreases. Again, work done by a force. Work done by a force can be positive or negative or 0, right? So this option is matching with 1, Q, can be positive, work done by a force can be positive or negative or 0. It's matching, right? Next, work done by static friction. Now it is asking static friction. So work done by static friction, because when the friction is static means we are applying the force on the body, but body is not moving. There is no displacement. Displacement is 0. So work done by the static friction is also 0, right? So this option which is matching with this is 0. Okay, here only. We can write over here only. So for R, again we are having 1. For Q, we are having 1. Best match. Now for S, point S, when work done over a closed path is 0, when work done over a closed path is 0, then what happens? The force must be conservative, must be negative, or force must be non-conservative. So in this is matching with force must be conservative. Force must be conservative, point S, right? So now we will see the options over here. A is representing P first. No. P is at fourth. Which one is representing fourth? Yeah. P is at fourth. Now next Q. Q is at first. Q is at first, right? Next R. R is at first. Next S. S is at third. Okay. Option B. Option B is the correct answer for this question, right? Moving ahead to the next question. Here it is written, for a particle moving along the positive x-axis from origin to x is equal to x1, the variation of the magnitude of force on the particle is depicted in the given graphs, right? The force is parallel to x-axis and is conservative. So the maximum magnitude of force F1 has the same value for all the graphs. So 3 graphs are given over here and it is saying the F1 is having same maximum value. So on the basis of given graph, which of the following statements are correct? So there are 4 statements given over here. Among these statements, we have to check which of the following statements are correct. So first statement is saying that the change in potential energy is maximum in graph 2. Change in potential energy is maximum in graph 2. So for that purpose, we have to calculate potential energy in each of the graph. We know that change in potential energy is negative of work done. Change in potential energy is negative of work done. And here force and displacement graphs are given. Force and displacement graphs are given. So area under force and displacement graph gives us work done. Area under force and displacement graph gives us work done. So for first graph, area under force and displacement over here. So this is a triangle. This graph seems as a triangle. So area of the triangle. So work done over here will be area half into base into height, x1 into f1. So I can write half into f1 into x1, right? In figure 2, here it seems like a rectangle. So length into breadth, area of rectangle will be length into breadth. So work done over here will be equal to f1 into x1, right? Graph 3, here it's again a rectangle, it's again a triangle, but it is towards negative side. So the work done over here will be minus half f1 x1, right? Now we have to calculate change in potential energy. It is negative of work done. So for first graph, change in potential energy will be equal to negative of work done minus, here it is plus, so minus 1 by 2 f1 x1, right? For graph 2, change in potential energy in graph 2 will be equal to negative of work done. Work done in graph 2 is f1 x1. So it will be equal to negative of f1 x1, right? In graph 3, so in graph 3, this change in potential energy will be equal to negative of work done. So negative of, it is already in negative. Work done in third case is already in negative. So this change in potential energy in third graph will be equal to 1 by 2 f1 x1. Now if we will arrange these potential energies in the increasing order, then we'll understand that change in potential energy of graph 3 is greater than change in potential energy of graph 1, and which is also greater than change in potential energy of graph 2, right? So first statement, change in potential energy is maximum in graph 2. False, this statement is not correct. Change in potential energy is minimum in graph 2. Yeah, true, this statement is correct. Third, the change in potential energy is greater in graph 3 as compared to graph 1. Correct, this statement is also correct. Fourth, change in potential energy is smaller in graph 3 as compared to graph 1. No, false. So only 2 and 3 are correct, or it is asking us which of the following statements are correct. So in the options you will see option C. Option C is the correct answer for this question, right? Okay, now moving ahead on the next question. So this question, impulse on a particle. As per the heading, it is showing that the question is based on impulse. So the given graph represents the variation of magnitude of net force. This is the given graph which is showing the variation of magnitude of net force exerted in x direction on a 2.5 kg particle with time, right? On the basis of given graph, fill in the blanks by selecting the correct option, okay, right? So this graph you will see, it is an FT graph. It is an FT graph. So it is asking the impulse of the force is, okay. So we know that area under FT graph gives us impulse. Area under FT graph gives us impulse. So impulse over here will be equal to area of this graph, right? So this is a trapezium. So we can write, we know the formula of trapezium, half into height into base 1 plus base 2. So 1 by 2, height is 4 and base 1 is 3 minus 2. 1 into base 2 is 5, right? So it can be 2, base 1 is 3 minus 2, 1. This is 5, correct. So impulse over here, sorry, plus, here it will be plus, not here it will be plus. So it will be 12 Newton second. So we got the impulse as 12 Newton second. 12 Newton second, okay. 12 Newton second. Second, find velocity of the particle if it is originally at rest. So it is asking final velocity when the particle is originally at rest. Value of u is 0. So we know that impulse momentum theorem. Impulse is equal to change in momentum, and change in momentum is equal to mass into final velocity minus initial velocity, right? So value of change in momentum is given, that is 12, mass is given 2.5 kg, and v it is asking, and u is also given, initial velocity it is 0, initial velocity is 0, right? So this v will be equal to 12 upon 2.5. If we will solve this, 120 upon 25, so it is equal to 4.8 meter per second. 4.8 meter per second. Okay. 4.8 meter per second. Third, its final velocity, if its original velocity is minus 2. So in the same formula, we will change the value of u over here. If we are changing the value of u, so we'll have del p is equal to m v minus u. So 12 is equal to 2.5 v minus 2, right? So v will be equal to 12 by 2.5. Just now we have calculated, so this is equal to 4.8. Directly I am writing over here. This will be equal to 4.8. 4.8, and it is minus plus. Plus it will become, and if we then transposing this plus 2 towards left hand side, it will become minus. So finally we are getting 2.8 meter per second. So 2.8 meter per second. So most probably C should be our answer. The average, the fourth one, it is asking the average force exerted on the particle for the time interval 0 to 5 seconds is. Average force it is asking, average force. So the simple formula we know, impulse is equal to F into T. So average force by this graph will be equal to F is equal to impulse upon time, right? So impulse is 12, time is 5. Impulse is 12 and time is 5. So it will be equal to 2.4 Newton. This is what it is asking, 2.4 Newton, yeah. So option C is correct for this question, right? Clear? Moving ahead on the next question, we'll see. Fine. Resistance, electrons lost in a maze. So this question is from electricity chapter. So it is asking what will be the value of equivalent resistors between U and V in the given circuit. Between U and V in the given circuit. So many of you might have got confused by seeing the first so many resistors are attached to it. Fine. Okay, let's crack this. So by symmetry method we will solve this, and by symmetry method this figure we can draw in this way. Here we will detach from this point. So it will be U is over here, 4 ohm, 3 ohm, 4 ohm, 2 ohm, 6 ohm, 12 ohm, 9 ohm, 12 ohm, right? Here it is 6 ohm, it is 2 ohm, 4, 3, 4, 2, 6, 12 and 9. Now in the middle we will detach this, so we can draw this figure in this way again, 5 ohm and 5 ohm. This can be redrawn as 15 ohm, 15 ohm. This is 5 ohm, this is 5 ohm, this is 15 ohm, this one is 15 ohm, right? So now coming on this part, this also will be detached and can be redrawn as 3 ohm, 3 ohm, right? Here also 9 ohm and 9 ohm. Okay. Now this is our circuit based on the symmetry method, right? After detaching it. Now see, if we will observe over here, so these two, 3 and 3, these two are in series, same current is going on. These two are in series, but this series is parallel with this 3. So 3 plus 3, 6, and this 6 is parallel with 3. So equivalent resistance over here means including all these 3. Equivalent resistance of all these 3. If we will see, so 1 by 3 R equivalent will be equal to 1 by 3 plus 1 by 6, which is equal to 6, 2 plus 1, 3 by 6. It means 1 by 2. So R equivalent is equal to 2 ohm, right? So R equivalent we got over here is 2 ohm, right? And now it is 2 ohm. This is R equivalent. This is 2 ohm. This is 4 ohm. 4 ohm, 2 ohm and 4 ohm. They are in series. 4 ohm, 2 ohm and 4 ohm are in series. 5 ohm and 5 ohm are in series, right? So fine. So this 4 plus 2 plus 4, this will become 10, and 5 plus 5 will become 10. And this 10, 2 ohm and 4 ohm, and this 10, they are in parallel. They both are in parallel. So here R equivalent, again it will be R equivalent equal to 1 by 10 plus 1 by 10, which is equal to 2 by 10, which is equal to 1 by 5. So R equivalent we got over here is 5 ohm, right? So this entire circuit has been breakdown and we got the R equivalent as 5 ohm. The total equivalent resistance over here is 5 ohm. The total equivalent resistance over here is 5 ohm. Similarly, we will do for the below case. Here it is 9, here also it is 9, here also it is 9. So for R equivalent for this case, R equivalent of all this, so it will be 1 by R equivalent, which is equal to 1 by 9 plus 1 by 18. I hope it is clear why it is 18. 9 and 9, they both are in series. So 1 by 9 plus 1 by 18. So if we will solve this, then 3 by 18, 3 by 18, which is equal to 1 by 6. So R equivalent over here is 6 ohm. We got R equivalent here over here is 6 ohm, right? 6 ohm. Now, again, here we are having 6 ohm, this is 12 ohm, here also it is 12 ohm. So, R equivalent, they are in series, here 15 and 15 are in series. So, R equivalent of this 12 ohm plus 6 ohm plus 12 ohm. So, 12 plus 12, 24 plus 6, 30, and 15 plus 15 is 30. So, R equivalent over of this circuit will be, R equivalent is over here will be 1 by 30 plus 1 by 30, which is equal to 2 by 30, means 1 by 15. So, R equivalent will be 15 ohm, right? I hope everyone understood. Listen once again. This is 12 ohm, here it is 6 ohm, here it is 12 ohm. These three are in series. These three are in series. Here it is 15, here it is 15. They are in series. And the equivalent resistance of 15 ohm and this 12 plus 6 plus 12 are in series. So their equivalent resistance we have written over here, 1 by 30 plus 1 by 30, 15 ohm. Total we got 15 ohm. So now final circuit which we are having over here, if we will see, so we are having 2 ohm and the equivalent is 5 ohm. So this is our final circuit. See, here it is 2 ohm, here the final equivalent here it is U and V. So here it is 2, here we are having 5 ohm and here again we are having 2. In this part we are having 6 ohm and equivalent we got 15, right? So 5 plus 4, they all are in series. So 5 plus 4, 9. Finally we are having 9 ohm over here, 9 ohm, and here 15, 15 plus 6, 21, 21 plus 6, 27. So 27. This is our circuit, final circuit, right? So now it is 9 and 27. They again are in parallel. So R equivalent of the R equivalent between U and V is R equivalent between U and V is 1 by 9 plus 1 by 27 because they are in parallel. So it will be 27, 3 plus 1, 4 by 27, right? So R UV is equal to 27 by 4. If we will calculate, then 4 yes, 6.25. Finally, our answer is 6.25. So option B. We can see option B is perfectly matching with our answer. 6.75. 6.75 is our answer, our equivalent of this circuit. Wow, two good question, right? Moving ahead on the next question. Okay, it is saying the ray from a laser point hits a plane mirror. From a laser pointer, okay, hits a plane mirror, and the reflected ray strikes a screen. And reflected ray after hitting over here strikes the screen. How far away from a point X? How far away from a point X should the ray strike the mirror to cause the reflected ray to hit the point R? Okay, so this is the figure. Here a mirror is there, and it is saying if how far away from point X should be light this laser so that after reflection this point can hit the point R. This ray can hit the point R. So if I'll assume that it is hitting somewhere here at point P. I am assuming it is hitting somewhere at point P. After hitting over here, it will hit the point R, right? Okay. So here we can see it is a triangle, both are triangle, and as per the law of symmetry, we can see the ratios of the symmetrical. If if we found these two are symmetrical, if two triangles are symmetrical, then their ratio, sides ratio should be proportional. So height of this triangle, height of this triangle, height of triangle 1 to the height of triangle 2 should be equal to base of triangle 1 to the base of triangle 2, right? As per the symmetry law, this would be their ratios should be proportion. So height of triangle 1 should be equal to height of triangle 2, and base of triangle 1 should be equal to the base of triangle 2, right? So height of triangle 1 is given 12 centimeter and height of triangle 2 is given 4 centimeter. Base over here, base, total distance is given 36, but base is not known. So if I am assuming the base till point P is D, the remaining part is 36 minus D, right? Remaining part is 36 minus D. Clear? So base of triangle 1 we have taken D, remaining part is 36 minus D. Okay, we'll solve this for calculating the D. So it will be 3 is equal to D upon 36 minus D. So this will be equal to 108 minus 3D is equal to D. So finally we can write 4D is equal to 108 and D is equal to 108 by 4. So this will be equal to 27 centimeter. 27 centimeter. So D, the point B, the point P as 27 meter away from point X. So as our answer is option B, 27 centimeter. If we are lighting this torch at 27 centimeter, then it will reflect back and hit the point R, right? Clear? Okay. Moving ahead on the next question. So we'll see, yeah. A car accelerates from rest at constant rate alpha for some time and then decelerates at a constant rate beta to come to rest. Okay. The total time elapsed is t. Which one of the following options represent the maximum velocity obtained and distance traveled by the car? Okay. So as per the question, we can see if car is starting from this point, from the rest, it is the rate, the acceleration is alpha for some time and then decelerates at a constant rate beta to come to rest. So if I am assuming if car is starting after reaching to this point, it is started decelerating and finally comes to rest. So here u is equal to 0, starting point of the car I am taking u is equal to 0. If here I am taking, this is maximum velocity, this is maximum velocity, V max, maximum. And again here the V will be equal to 0, final velocity becomes 0. So in the first part, here acceleration is alpha and here acceleration is beta. So if I'll assume the time taken over here, first part is t1 and over here is t2, right? Now it is asking maximum velocity attained by the car and distance traveled by the car. Okay, maximum, the value of maximum velocity attained by the car. So for calculating that, we know first equation of motion, V is equal to u plus at, right? V is equal to u plus at. So in the first part, if we see in the first part over here, so V will be V max for the journey A to B, V max, and it, if I am naming is that A, B and C, if I am naming the journey. So for journey A to B, for this journey A to V, V max will be equal to, as per this equation, u is 0, A is alpha and time is t1. So we are having V max is equal to alpha into t1. V max is equal to alpha into t1 for the journey A into B. Now for journey B into C, B to C, for journey B to C. For this journey again V max will apply the same formula, V is equal to u plus at. So this will be its initial velocity. V max will be its initial velocity and final velocity is 0. So 0 is equal to Vmax plus beta T2. Vmax plus beta T2, right? For that journey. Sorry, here I have written beta, but it is deceleration case. The body is decelerating from point B. The body is decelerating from point B. So here the acceleration will be in negative. Acceleration will be in negative, right? So here we will write Vmax minus beta T2, right? So Vmax over here is equal to beta T2. Clear? Now see, time taken by the particle is T1 and T2. So total time taken, we can write total time taken T is equal to T1 plus T2. We can write total time taken T is equal to T1 plus T2. So if we'll see from this equation, in the journey of A to B, if we'll see, so T1 will be equal to Vmax upon alpha. So T will be equal to here Vmax upon alpha plus T2 will be equal to Vmax upon beta, right? Vmax upon beta. Clear? This is total time. And from this equation, if we will calculate Vmax, so we can write T is equal to Vmax in bracket 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta. Further, this Vmax can be written as Vmax is equal to 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta. It can be rewritten as T upon 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta, which is equal to alpha into beta into time upon alpha plus beta, right? Clear? Alpha into beta into time upon alpha plus beta. So this is the value of Vmax. We got the value of Vmax. First part, maximum velocity attained by the car. This is the maximum velocity attained by the car. Alpha into beta time upon alpha plus beta, right? Okay, alpha into beta upon time, alpha plus beta. Okay, got it. Now next part, it is asking distance traveled by the car. Total distance traveled by the car. If I am assuming this is x1 distance, this is x and this is y. In first part is x and second part is y. So total distance should be equal to x plus y. Total distance should be equal to x plus y. Now for the journey A to B, this distance we know s is v square is equal to third equation. V square is equal to u square plus 2as. We know this v square is equal to u square plus 2as. So for the first case A to C, v square. What is v square over here? Vmax. Vmax square is equal to u is 0 plus 2 into A is alpha, acceleration is alpha, and this is x, right? So this can be written as Vmax square is equal to 2 into alpha into x. Second, so x will be equal to Vmax square upon 2 alpha. Similarly for y, solving for y, if we will solve for y, so we will see, solving here only, v square, the same formula, v square is equal to u square plus 2s, third equation of motion, applying over here for y. So for the y means the journey from B to C, v square, final velocity is 0, u square, initial velocity is Vmax square plus 2as, so plus is written but it is decelerating case, so minus we will write 2 into alpha is beta, acceleration is beta and it is y, right? So from here we can write y is equal to Vmax square upon 2 into beta. Clear? Vmax square upon 2 into beta. So this is the value of x and y. So total distance, we know total distance just now is equal to x plus y. Substituting their values, we will have Vmax square upon 2 alpha plus Vmax square upon 2 beta. Taking Vmax square common, so we can write V max square upon 2, taking it common. So it will be 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta. 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta, right? Okay, now see here. This is step. Substituting the value of Vmax. Substituting the value of Vmax, which we have calculated just now. So it will be equal to alpha into beta into t upon alpha plus beta. Alpha plus beta into 1 by 2 is there. 1 by 2 into 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta. 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta. So it will be equal to alpha plus beta upon alpha beta, right? This alpha plus beta upon alpha beta. Alpha beta upon alpha plus beta. Just a second. Alpha beta t upon alpha plus beta the whole square into 1 by 2 into alpha plus beta upon alpha beta. Fine. So we can see alpha plus beta the whole square and alpha beta. These are there. They can be cancelled out. I can write it over here. Alpha square, alpha, beta and t, right? Square. These both are also square upon alpha plus beta the whole square into 1 by 2 into alpha plus beta. Alpha plus beta. Okay, wait, where it has gone? Where it has gone, sir? Okay, fine. So this and this will be cancelled out from here. So finally we are having S is equal to, we'll calculate, we will have S is equal to alpha into beta t square upon alpha plus beta, 2 into alpha plus beta. So which one is alpha beta t square upon? Okay, option D. Option D will be the correct answer for this question, right? And that's all from my side. That's all in physics.
Hello my dear students, myself Dr. Srimanto Pal. Now we are going to discuss ResoFAST class 10 chemistry paper. So here we have the first question. So in chemistry lab, Manoj and Karthik were doing an experiment. During the process, they passed H2S gas, hydrogen sulfide gas, into a chamber of SO2 gas. They suddenly noticed the formation of a yellow color solid and water. Can you help them to identify the type of reaction of oxidant reaction, means what type of reaction is this, and oxidant in the above reaction? So how we will proceed this question? See, now here we have H2S gas and SO2 gas. So whenever we consider this H2S and SO2, there you might be thinking what type of reaction will be happening. You can guess what type of product you can get. See here, formation of yellow color solid. What is that? It is, most specifically in inorganic chemistry, it is nothing but sulfur. So we are getting one hint from that observation. Second one is water. So another byproduct is water. So this is our product. Now from where we are getting this product? H2S and SO2. So from this we are getting these two products. So this is our chemical reaction. Now if we balance this reaction, so just put 2 here and 2 here, 3 here. So this is our balanced reaction. So now if you want to identify the type of reaction, see, first you have to identify the oxidation number of each element, especially here sulfur and oxygen. Why? Sulfur is having -2 oxidation state because each hydrogen is having +1, and here in SO2 Oxygen is having -2 oxidation state. Then what will be the oxidation state of sulfur? It is +4. Next, if you come to this sulfur, it is elemental form. So elemental form means oxidation state will be 0 and there hydrogen +1 and oxygen -2. So this is all about oxidation state. Now, how we will identify what type of reaction is this? Say sulfur is changing its oxidation state. Here -2 to 0. So -2 to 0, what type of reaction is this? It is oxidation reaction. Whenever you consider this sulfur +4 to 0, so it is reduction. See, in the same reaction, oxidation and reduction, both the reactions are happening together. So this reaction is called redox reaction. Now see the option, only option C, there we have redox reaction. Next, oxidant. What will be the oxidant in this reaction? So how we will identify oxidant? See, from the definition you can easily identify oxidation is nothing but who is doing oxidation of other substance. For example, here sulfur -2. This is undergoing oxidation process. Who is doing this oxidation? SO2. So SO2 will be called as oxidant. Yes, in the option C, SO2 is also there. So redox reaction and SO2, this will be our correct answer for this question. Now come to our next question. The X- ion has 18 electrons and an atomic mass of 35.5. It has two isotopes. One is having 18 neutrons, X1. So X1, here we have 18 neutrons, and other is having 20 neutrons. So X2 is having 20 neutrons. So we have to find out the availability of X1 to X2 respectively. So availability ratio we have to find out. So here, say this 35.5, this is the average atomic mass. Now we have one particular formula to calculate average atomic mass. Now see, X minus, it is having 18 electrons. So that means X will have 17 electrons, correct? If X is having 17 electrons, so that means it has atomic number 17. So that means atomic number will be 17. And atomic number 17 means proton number is 17. Okay, so number of proton will be 17. So now how we will get mass? So X1, it is having 18 neutron. So we know mass of any isotope means proton number plus neutron number. So say 18 plus 17. So this will be its mass, atomic mass. So 35. Next 20 plus 17. So 37. So we have these two isotopes. X1, it has mass 35. We have X2 isotope, mass is 37. Now how we will calculate average atomic mass? So there we have one formula. So average atomic mass, which is 35.5, here we have 35.5, which is equal to 35 isotope. Now we are assuming that X1 isotope present in X, let's consider X, small x, X percentage. Then X2 isotope will be present 100 minus X percentage, correct? If X1 is present in terms of X percentage, means abundance is X percentage, then X2 isotope, the abundance will be 100 minus X percentage. Now just put the values. So small x into its mass is 35. So 35 plus now 100 minus x. 100 minus x into its mass is 37. Put 37 divided by 100. So this is our formula. So now we have to find out the value of x. So just cross multiply 3550 equal to 35x plus 3700 minus 37x. So from this we can get 2x equal to 150. So x will be 75. So x will be 75. That's mean this X1 isotope, what is the abundance of this isotope? 75. Now X2 isotope, for X2 isotope what is the abundance? 100 minus x, which is 25. So this is the ratio x1 to x2. This is the ratio. So we have to find the availability of x1 to x2 ratio. So x1 75, x2 25. So that's mean 3:1. This would be our answer, which is option D. So option D is the correct one. Now come to our next question. Pharmacolite power test. A chemical called pharmacolite. So this is our chemical, is used to identify the contamination of groundwater. During the process, if 2.5 gram of pharmacolite is used, how many hydrogen atoms are actually consumed in this activity? So what we need to find out, our final target is to calculate the number of hydrogen atoms consumed in this activity. So that number we have to find out. How we will calculate? First, we have to get the molecular weight of this pharmacolite. How we will calculate? So all the molecular weight means element, for each element mass is given. So we have to find out total molecular weight. So calcium 40 plus 1 hydrogen here we have. So 1 plus arsenic we have 75 plus 4 oxygen means 4 into 16 plus 2. We know for each water molecule mass is 18. So directly we are writing 18. So if we add all of this, we will get 216. So the mass of molecular mass of pharmacolite molecule is 216. Now 2.5 gram. 2.5 gram means how many moles? First we have to calculate that mole number. So given weight divided by molecular weight, 216 gram per mole. So that's mean gram will cancel out. So we will get 2.5 divided by 216 mole. Now we know for each mole of substance means how many molecules? Avogadro number, right? 6.023 into 10 to the power 23. 6.023 into 10 to the power 23. So this means, this entire thing means the number of molecules, the number of pharmacolite molecules required or consumed in that activity. Now, if you see this formula, how many hydrogen atoms are present? So here 1 hydrogen and here 4 hydrogen atoms, total 5. So that's why this number, this whole number, this is the number of pharmacolite molecule consumed. So how many hydrogen atoms are consumed? Multiplied by 5. So if we calculate this part, 2.5 by 216 into this into 5, so we will get one number. So that number is 3.48 into 10 to the power 22. If you calculate, you will get that number. And how, units are cancelled. So here mole, and we know for Avogadro number what is the unit? Mole inverse. So per mole we have this number. So mole inverse mole will cancel out. So you will get unit less number, which is 3.48 into 10 to the power 3.48 into 10 to the power 22. So this is our answer. Next, so here observe the reaction given below and identify P, Q, T correctly. So we have to identify P, Q and T, 3 different substances. Now see, if you look at this reaction, you may not, you may be confused, but see, hints are given. So here it says fused state. So whatever electrolyte you have, whatever substance you have, that must be in fused state. Next, R is used in freezing mixture. So in electrochemistry or electrolysis, fused state or freezing mixture, there which substance is used? It is nothing but NaCl. Sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is used in freezing mixture, and also it is having fused state. Okay, so it can have fused state. So now if you do electrolysis, what product you will get? At cathode means their reduction will be happening. So Na plus will be reduced itself and sodium will be deposited, which is P. Sodium will be deposited, which is P. And at anode, so Cl is present in Cl minus, right? Na is present in +1 state, Cl is present in -1 state. So if sodium from +1 it is becoming neutral, so Cl minus will be oxidized and it will form Cl2. Now if you do balancing, just put half here, so it basically balancing of atoms. So after balancing of atoms, we are getting this. So here point is P will be your sodium and Q will be your chlorine, Cl2. Now Q plus S is giving T. So now S is used in whitewash. Whitewash means what substance we use in whitewash? So it is nothing but calcium hydroxide, CaOH whole 2, CaOH whole 2, calcium hydroxide. Now Q means Cl2. If Cl2 reacts with calcium hydroxide, what product you will get? CaOCl2. So this product you will get. So now this will be your T. P, Q and T. Now check the options in which case it is properly matching. So here P is sodium, Q is chlorine and T is CaOCl2. So that means option B will be our correct answer. So next, this question. There are 4 gases present in a gas chamber, out of which one gas X diffuses into another chamber where it reacts with an yellow color solid. Again the same concept. Whenever we have yellow color solid in inorganic chemistry, this is based on inorganic chemistry, right? So there is a high chance that it may be sulfur. So now let's read, and forms a product Y which further gets weight in another chamber and forms Z. If Z is treated with methyl orange, the color change would be. So final color we have to say. So here we have options. So now see, here we have in the first chamber we have SO3, O2, O3 and NO2. Which gas will be diffused? First we have to identify that. And for diffusion, how which gas will be diffused? How we will identify the molecule? There is one formula. Diffusion rate will be proportional to 1 by root m. If we consider diffusion rate of diffusion, that will be inversely proportional to 1 by root m, or it proportional to 1 by root m or inversely proportional to root m. So now if we compare these 4 molecules, only oxygen, it is having least molecular weight. O2 is having least molecular weight. So O2 will be in the next chamber. Now O2, if O2 reacts with sulfur, so what product will get? SO2. So here gas Y will be SO2. So gas X will be O2, gas Y will be SO2. Next, this SO2. When this SO2 reacts with water, what you will get? H2SO3. H2SO3. Just addition of atoms. H2SO3. So now H2SO3, sulfurous acid, it is acid, right? Since it is acid, methyl orange in acidic medium. So this medium is acidic. Okay, this medium is acidic. In acidic medium, methyl orange gives red color. Okay, it is indicator. Actually, methyl orange, it acts as indicator. So in acidic medium, it shows red color. Okay, so next question. The solubility of 4 substances P, Q, R, S are given. So these are the solubility data. Next, identify the descending order of mass percentage of the substance in the solution. So we have to find out the descending order of mass percentage. How we will do that? First, we have to know the formula of mass percentage. How we will solve this question? First, we have to know the formula. W by W percentage. It means weight of solute divided by weight of solvent into 100. It gives you weight by weight percentage or mass percentage. So now for each and every substance we have to calculate this weight by weight percentage. So simply for P how we will calculate? So 5 by 100 into 100. So which gives 5%. Now for Q, it is 80 divided by 50 into 100. So what you will get? 2 means 36. For R, what we will get? 25 divided by 100 into 100, which gives 25. For S, it is 75 divided by 150 into 100. So 5 into 10 means 50. Okay, so these are the values. So now if we compare these values, so S is having the highest mass percentage. So check, here we have S first, here we have S first. Next we have 36 Q. So here we have Q. Then we have R 25 and then P. So option C is correctly matching with this data. So that's why option C will be our correct answer. Next, this question. The quantum numbers for the valence electrons of 4 elements W, X, Y, Z are given below. So these are the configuration, quantum numbers of the last valence electrons. So arrange the elements in increasing order of atomic number. So from this, how we will get atomic number? Okay, let's see. First, W element. So see, principal quantum number is N and L value is 0. So that's mean 2s. And see, plus half. So plus half means there is a convention that if you add, for example, this is our S, okay? This is our S subshell. If you add the first electron, so then for this we will write plus half. And if you add the second electron, it will be your minus half, okay? So since last electron is having plus half, so in this case 2s1, so we are considering only one electron is present in the S subshell. So 2s1. Next, for X element, check, principal quantum number is 3. So last valence shell will be 3 and check L value, which is 1. So that's mean P. Next, say M value. M value is minus 1. What does it mean? In case of P subshell, convention is minus 1, 0, plus 1. These are the M values. So these are M values. Now, so they are saying M should be minus 1. So that's mean only this orbital we have to consider. And S is plus up. That's mean only one electron is present there. So that's mean 3p1 will be the last subshell. Next, for Y, 2 is principal quantum number, then L value is 1. So that's mean 2p. Now M value 0. M value 0 means, so that's mean last electron, here the last electron will be present in like this, correct? M value 0 and S value is minus half, it is saying. So minus half means here it is plus half. Okay, first electron plus value. So it is plus half. How we will get minus half? If you fill all of this like this. Okay, so last electron you filled in this way. So for this we have M value 0 and S value minus half. So that means 2p5 will be the last subshell. This is the configuration. Now for element Z, principal quantum number is 4. So that means 4 and see L value is 0. So that means S. Now see S value is minus half. So minus half means what? Again the same reason. First electron means plus half. Next electron if you fill, so that will be minus half. So 4s2 will be our valence shell. So this is our outermost subshell. Then fill whatever inside subshells we have or shells we have, just fill that. So here 1s2, 2s1. So here 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, then 3s2 and 3p1. And here 1s2, 2s2, 2p, 1s2, 2s2 and then directly 2p. One s2, 2s2 and directly 2p5. And for this 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6 and next 4s2. So this is our complete configuration based on this valence electrons. Now count the number of electrons. So in this case total number of electron is 2 plus 1, 3. In this case total number of electron 2 plus 2, 4, 6, 10, 12 and 1, 13. In this case 2, 4 and 5, 9. In this case 2 to 4, 6, 10, 12, 18, 20. So this is the electron number. Now we know for any atom, for every atom if you consider, number of electron will be equal to number of protons, because atom is neutral, right? So that's mean proton number or atomic number. Atomic number means proton number only, right? So here atomic number 20, then atomic number 9, atomic number 13 and atomic number 3. So now if we arrange, Z will be having, so increasing order we have to follow, increasing order. So Z will be at the end Z, here Z, here Z, okay. Next will be X. So here X we have, here we don't have, so this is not the option. Here X, here also we have X, okay. Third one will be our Y. So here Y, yes, Y we have, here Y we don't have. So that's mean this is not the option, this is not the option. Option A is the correct answer for this question. Now come to our next question, valence match. The number of valence electrons in X and Y are 6 and 1 respectively. Give the correct formula of the compound formed when X combines with hydrogen and Y combines with oxygen. So it is already defined, X will be combining with hydrogen and Y will be combining with oxygen. So now how we will solve this problem? Say X is having valence electron which is 6, Y is having valence electron 1. So this is the case. Now any sharp shell, if it is full filled, okay, so that means it gains stability. So from 6 electron, what will be easier? Losing 6 all the 6 electrons or gaining 2 electrons? If it gains 2 electrons, then from 6 it will become 8, and 8 means octet configuration and it will become very stable. So that's mean this X element, it will gain 2 electrons from whom? From hydrogen. So from 2 hydrogen, if it gets 2 electron, then octet configuration will be satisfied. So that's when X, H2X will be followed in this case. Now Y. In this case, Y, it will lose 1 electron or it will gain 7 electron. Which one is more easy? So obviously losing 1 electron will be easier, right? So that's why it will lose 1 electron, and we have oxygen. Y should combine with oxygen. Oxygen, we know its outer shell electron configuration is 6, means in outer shell it is having total 6 electrons. So it will try to gain another 2 electrons. From whom it will get those 2 electrons? From Y. If each Y gives 1 electron, then oxygen from 6 it will become 7. So that's why 2Y. If 2Y is there, so they will give 2 electron. Okay, instead of 1 they will give 2 electron. That's mean oxygen also 6 plus 2 octet configuration will be satisfied. So that's mean for X it will combine with 2 hydrogen atoms, and Y, 2 Y atoms will combine with means 1 each single oxygen. So the combination will be H2X and Y2O. So option C will be our answer. Next, come to this question. Which of the following gases occupy the maximum volume at STP? So volume we have to consider, and STP condition, standard temperature and pressure. Now first see the data. Here we have 14 gram of N2. Weight is given. Here also weight is given. Here also weight is given. Here also weight is given. Now from weight, how we will get volume? Process is mole number. In between, mole number is there. So first convert this weight into mole number, and we know for each mole of any gas, at STP the volume is 22.4 liter. So just get the mole number from each of this substance. So 14 gram of N2 means 14 gram divided by 28 gram per mole. So what will be its mole number? 0.5. Okay, so here mole number is 0.5. So 1.7 gram of ammonia. What will be its mole number? 1.7 gram given weight divided by ammonia molecular weight is 17. 17 gram per mole. So you will get 0.1 mole. So 80 gram of SO3. So SO3 molecular weight is 80, sulfur 32, and each oxygen atom 16. So 3 into 16 is 48. So total 80. So here mole number will be 80 gram divided by 80 gram per mole, means molecular weight this one. So total 1 mole. And if you consider hydrogen, so 10 gram is given for each hydrogen molecule, 2 gram per mole. So this is the molecular weight. So you will get 5 mole here. So now for each mole 22.4 liter volume, means more mole number, more volume. If mole number increases, then volume also will increase. Now check in which case we have maximum mole number. So here 0.5 for nitrogen, 0.1 for ammonia, 1 for SO3, and 5 for H2. So 5 mole number is present for H2. So that's mean 5 into 22.4. So this liter. So this is the highest mole number, means highest volume we will get in this case. So answer will be 10 gram of H2. Next, come to our next question, chromatographic crime scene. So use of drugs. So to answer this question, you have to think like a scientist. Say use of drugs like ephedrine and insulin by athletes is banned. Krish, Monish, Deepak and Vivek were asked by a trainer to give their urine sample for the test. Chromatogram of their urine samples and drugs is shown below. So this is our chromatogram result. Now study the given chromatogram carefully and choose the incorrect statement among the following. So first we have to look at carefully how, means what information this chromatogram is giving. See, ephedrine, this is one drug, and insulin another one. Now what chromatogram means? So here we are putting the sample, pure ephedrine sample. So that sample after some time it is moving to that spot. So this is its starting line, and that is after the experiment final spot is there. Insulin, here you are putting the sample, pure insulin sample, and after the experiment it goes to that position. Okay, it goes there. So now here we have all those athletes name. If any athlete's sample, that spot, if their spot is matching with these two spots, that's mean they consume those drugs. So that will be the conclusion. Now check Krish. For Krish, see this location, this is exactly similar level, right? So that's mean Krish is having ephedrine. Next, if you go above this spot, no, this spot is not matching, because see, it is not matching. So that's mean Chris is having only ephedrine, drugs. Next, Monish. So here you can see this spot, it is in between these two, insulin and ephedrine, and other spot that is also at different place. So Monish, he is not having any drug. Next, Deepak sample, here you see, so this, yes, for Deepak sample, ephedrine, it is matching, okay, this spot is perfectly matching with ephedrine drug. Next spot, here also it is matching with insulin drug. So that's mean Deepak is having both the drugs. Last one, Vivek, here you see, no spot is matching with ephedrine and insulin. Okay, so that's mean now, means based on this is the significance of this diagram. Now match, just read these options. Deepak used both of these drugs. Deepak, yes, it is correct, right? Deepak used both of these drugs. Krish and Deepak used insulin. Krish, insulin, no, Krish used ephedrine only. So it is wrong. Deepak used insulin, yes, Deepak used insulin. So since Deepak used insulin but Chris is not, so that's mean that statement is wrong. That entire statement will be wrong. Chris used ephedrine, Chris used ephedrine. Yes, it is correct. Next, Manish and Vivek didn't use any type of Manish, yes, he didn't use any drug. Vivek, that is also correct statement. Vivek also didn't use any drug. So we have to choose the incorrect statement. So incorrect means only this statement B. So statement B will be the answer. So for this question, statement B will be the answer. This is all about chemistry.
Hello students, this is Nikhil. We'll discuss today our mega ResoFAST maths paper which comes in mathematics class 10 NEET. Okay. So here we'll go with the first question. Arc length mystery. It is connected to tangent and area related to circle. Both applications are there to calculate the length of the arc TD. So the theorem says that this point of contact, because this PT is tangent, so from radius this angle will be 90 degree. Point of contact, the angle is 90 degree. OT is our radius. First we will find the radius by using a Pythagoras theorem, which says OP square equals to PT square plus OT square. So 24 square equals to 12 square plus R square. That will be 576 minus 144. So 432 is R square. So R will be 12 root 3. We got the radius as 12 root 3. Now we need to find the length of the arc TD. This is length of the arc. The formula will be theta by 60 into 2 pi r. So the angle is not given. If you see this ODT is a sector, okay? So this angle we need. So let us take this angle as theta, okay? So in this triangle, if you see, cos theta is B by H, or either you can use sine also, okay? So cos theta, base is our radius and hypotenuse is our OP. So cos theta is 12 root 3 by 24, that is root 3 by 2. And root 3 by 2 is 60 degree, so our theta is 30 degree, so our theta is 30, cos 30 is root 3 by 2, sin 60 is root 3 by 2, okay. So theta is 30, so we will substitute the value here, theta by 360 into 2 into pi, and radius is 12 root 3, so 30 by 6 is 12, 12 cancelled, so we have 2 root 3 pi. So this is the length of the arc TD, 2 root 3 pi. Next question, the decimal test. How many positive integers less than 100 have reciprocals that produce terminating decimal expansions? Means they need terminating decimal expansion, and the condition is if it is in 2 raised to power a or 5 raised to power b denominator, then they can produce terminating decimal, otherwise it is non-terminating, okay. So first from 1 to 100, because it is less than 100, so we will not count 100. First we will check powers of 2 that can satisfy this, okay. So we will go with 2 raised to power 0, 2 raised to power 1, 2 raised to power 2, 2 raised to power 3, 2 raised to power 4, 2 raised to power 5, 2 raised to power 6. So if you see, these numbers are 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. Next, if we take 2 raised to power 7, that will be 128. But our condition is less than 100. We will not take this number. So these we have 7 numbers overall. Now move to 5, power of 5, because they will also produce terminating decimals. Same method will start, 5 raised to power 0, 5 raised to power 1, 5 raised to power 2. Oh, this 1 is counted, so we will not take this. 5 raised to power 1, 5 square and 5 cube. So these are 5, 25, but this again greater than 100, so we will not count it. Now, if we check 2 into 5 also, we can multiply these number by 5. So 5 into 1 is 5, 5 into 2 10, 5 into 4 20, 5 into 8 40. So 5 into 16 is 80. But after this, the multiplication will go beyond 100. So we have these 5 numbers, these 2 numbers, and these 7 numbers. So 7 plus 2 plus 5, that is 14. So our answer is B 14. Second question. Okay. Now we'll go to third question. Let alpha and beta be the roots of this equation. Alpha and beta are the roots of the equation x minus a, x minus b equals to c. Condition c is not equals to 0. Then we have to find the roots of the equations. Another equation which says x minus alpha, x minus beta plus c equals to 0. Okay. So first we'll multiply this. This will be x square minus a plus bx plus ab, and this c will shift here. So if you see, product sum of the roots will be a plus b, alpha plus beta minus b by a, and alpha beta will be c by a, ab minus c. Okay, we'll simplify this equation also. If you multiply these two brackets, we'll get x square minus alpha plus beta x plus alpha beta plus c equals to 0. We have the values of alpha plus beta and alpha beta, that will substitute here. This will become x square minus a plus bx, alpha beta is ab minus c, and this plus c is also there. So ultimately we have x square minus a plus bx plus ab equals to 0. So if you see, this will be sum of the root, this will be product of the root. So if you simplify it, you will get x minus a into x minus b equals to 0. So from this you will get excess a, from this you will get excess b. So a comma b, C option, a comma b are the roots are our equation. Okay. Next, fourth, the leading coefficient of a polynomial px of degree 3 is 2025. Suppose that p1 is 5, p2 is 7, p3 is 9, and we had to find value of p4, polynomial at 4. We find the value of polynomial at 4. Okay. So let us take that, because we have given 1, 2, 3, we'll use division algorithm which says dividend equals divisor into quotient plus remainder. Okay. So assume function leading coefficient will take 2025, because 1, 2, 3 the values are given, will take them as zeros, x minus 1, x minus 2 and x minus 3. Okay. Now because we are following the remainder division, okay, the division algorithm, so remainder, if we divide something, suppose let us take remainder will be in the form of ax plus b. Okay. Again, because here you will get cubic and equation both, quadratic also, we are taking in remainder in terms of ax plus b, because this will not affect the degree, because degree is 3. Again, because this is a linear one, so it will not affect the degree of our given polynomial. So now we'll check the values and find ab. Okay, to exactly find our main polynomial fx, or you can say px also. Okay, instead of this fx. So at x equals to 1, because this is given as 5. So if you put x as 1, the function of at value 1 is 5. This will become 1 minus 1 0. This complete is 0, and equation will be a plus b, because x is 1. Okay. Now we'll check at 2. So function value at 2 is 7. Again 2 minus 2 becomes 0. This will become 0, equals to 2a plus b. Second equation we have 2a plus b. Okay. So now, because we have two equations with us, now if we want, we can use elimination or substitution. So 5 equals to a plus b, subtraction, cancel. So 2 equals to a. If you put, you will get b as 3. Okay. So our polynomial will be, exact polynomial will be fx 2025 into x minus 1, x minus 2, x minus 3, and ax plus b, a is 2, so we'll write 2x plus 3, because b is 3. Now we have to find out 4, so we'll substitute x as 4. So 2025 into 4 minus 1 is 3, 4 minus 2 is 2, 4 minus 3 is 1, plus 4 into 2 is 8, 8 plus 3 is 11. So we'll see that these values at 4, it is greater than 10,000. But our options are like 11, 9 or 7. So we'll go with none of these, because after multiplication and simplification it will go beyond 10,000. Okay. Next and the last question. In the adjoining figure, O is the center of the circle. Again, this is the very good example of area of rotated circle. If you see all the 3 shaded portions here, these are segments, and the radius is same, degrees, angle is theta is also same, because 60, 60, 60, every angle will be 60 only, like this. So we'll find out the area of one segment and we'll multiply it by 3. That's it. Okay, so first, area of one shaded portion will be area of sector minus area of triangle. So area of sector was theta by 360 pi r square, and area of triangle we use half r square sine theta. Okay, so theta is 60, so 60 by 360 pi r square minus 1 by 2 r square sine 30 is root 3 by 2. Okay, so this will come 1 by 6 pi r square minus root 3 r square by 4. Okay, root 3 r. This is the area of one segment. We need the area of three segments. We will multiply this part by 3. So 3 into 1 by 6 pi r square minus root 3 r square by 4. So if you multiply inside the brackets, it will be pi r square by 2 minus 3 root 3 r square by 4. Now r square and 2 you can take common, so you will be left with pi minus 3 root 3 by 2 after taking r square by 2 common. So this is our option A. This is our option A. So that's the answers of mathematics portion. Now our next teacher will continue the biology part, and I hope that the paper went well for you. Best of luck for the result.
Hello students, myself Kavya. In this session, I am going to discuss about the biology class 10 paper in the Mega ResoFAST exam that was conducted. Let us get into the first question. Coming to the first question, there is a diagram which is given, A and B. Let us identify the diagrams first before we get into the question. When we see this A diagram is nothing but a cortical nephron. It is nothing but a cortical nephron, whereas B is a juxtamedullary nephron. It is a juxtamedullary nephron. There are certain labelings for this diagram. If you see, P is the glomerulus, which is the tuft of capillaries, whereas Q is the Bowman's capsule, R is the proximal convoluted tubule, S is the Henle's loop, T is the distal convoluted tubule, and U is the collecting duct. Coming to this diagram, X, Y and Z. X is the outer cortex, Y is the outer medulla, and Z is the innermost medulla. In this question, they are asking which of the following statements regarding the nephron is correct. Let us analyze each statement step by step. Coming to the first statement, it is saying in comparison to type A nephron, the urine production by type B nephron is likely to be more concentrated. Yes, this is a correct statement. Why is this statement correct? Because in case of cortical nephron, the loop of Henle is not penetrating deep into the medulla. So there will be no vasa recta. Matlab vasa recta will be highly reduced, which is responsible for the concentration of urine. So here it will not be that much concentrated. But coming to the type B nephron, that is a juxtamedullary nephron, the loop of Henle is penetrating deep into the medulla. Because it is penetrating deep into the medulla, it is having vasa recta, which is also penetrated, and this vasa recta will be helping in the counter current mechanism. That counter current mechanism helps in the concentration of the filtrate or concentration of the urine. So obviously this statement would be a correct statement, but we should not jump into answers. Let us analyze the remaining statements as well. Coming to B, type B nephron is likely to absorb more potassium ions as compared to type A nephron. But the absorption of potassium ions is a hormonal mechanism. Which hormone is responsible for the reabsorption of the potassium ions? It is nothing but aldosterone, which is produced by the adrenal gland. Aldosterone helps in the reabsorption of the potassium ions. Now, it will be acting upon the DCT and the collecting duct. it does not act upon the Henle's loop. So it has nothing to do with the type A and the type B nephrons. Coming to the statement C, in comparison to type B nephron, type A nephron reabsorption of NaCl leads to the subsequent osmosis of water from the loop of Henle into the blood. Before jumping into the what the statement actually means, you should remember a small concept, that when we are talking about the loop of Henle, it is having descending limb and ascending limb. When we talk about the descending limb, it is usually permeable to water and impermeable to the electrolytes. But when we talk about the ascending limb, it is impermeable to water but permeable to electrolytes. This continuous exchange of water and electrolyte help in maintaining the osmolarity of the interstitial medullary fluid. So this is not regarding the osmosis. In comparison to type B nephron, type A nephron is likely to remove poisonous substances from the blood more efficiently. But when we are talking about the nephron, the movement or the elimination of the poisonous substances usually takes place at the collecting duct. It has nothing to do with, again, the loop of Henle. So this statement will also be a wrong statement. So the most appropriate answer would be the first option. Now let us move to the second question. Yes, this second question is regarding evolution. We know that the organisms have evolved. So what exactly has this question asked? If you see, a small population of monkeys from Africa are thought to have drifted to South America on natural rafts about 40 million years ago. On reaching South America, these monkeys interbred among themselves and developed into new species. That is the condition which is given. And here they are asking, arrange the evolutionary process that would lead to the formation of the new species. So what exactly is the concept according to the theory given over here is, usually there is a large population. Okay, from this large population, small part of the population is getting isolated and developing into new population. Okay, when this small population is getting isolated, it is both geographically as well as reproductively getting isolated from the old population. Now it has come to a new environment. When it has come to a new environment, it has to adapt itself to the new environment, right? So there will be certain nature's pressure over it. There will be selective pressure over it from the surrounding nature. That is what is called as natural selection. And the natural selection, how does it happen? Because of the surrounding environment, the one which could survive the fittest. The fittest would survive. How? Reproductively fittest would survive. That will have the natural selection and will get adapted to the environment, right? So which of the options do relate to our concept? The first option says migration, adaptation and natural selection. The nature does not select it by the means of adaptation. But the second option says genetic drift, natural selection and then adaptation. Yes, this would be correct, because what is genetic drift? A part of the old population has got isolated and developed into a new population. How it has got isolated? Reproductively as well as geographically it has got isolated, and it has developed into a new environment. It has developed into new population, adapted to the new environment. So there is nature's pressure over it, which has shown natural selection, and it has adapted to the new environment. So the correct, most appropriate option would be B for this question. Now let us move to the next question. This question is regarding immunity. We all have been through the most pandemic disease that has come, that is COVID-19. This question is about the same. What is the question asking? A person is sick from the COVID-19 virus. What kind of immunity does this person gain due to the infection and then retain after recovery? So, before getting into this question, you should be knowing what exactly is immunity. Immunity is nothing but the ability of an organism to fight against the disease causing pathogens is what is called as immunity. Immunity is of two types. What are the two types? Innate immunity and acquired immunity. Innate immunity is inborn immunity, whereas acquired immunity is that you get after birth. This acquired immunity is again divided into two types: active immunity and passive immunity. What is active immunity? When the body is exposed to certain foreign antigens or pathogen, the body will start start the production of the antibodies. That is what is called as active immunity. Whereas passive immunity is ready-made antibodies are being inserted into the body. That is what is called as passive immunity. Now let us go back to the question. If you see a person is sick from COVID-19, what kind of immunity will the person gain? Because the person will gain the immunity, so it will definitely be an acquired immunity. So let us eliminate the options which show innate immunity. Now, because there is production of the antibodies, definitely it would be an active immunity. So the most correct answer would be active immunity and acquired immunity. That is option B. Coming to the next question, this is about the hydrilla species. Here there is a diagram which is being given and they have labeled different parts. Let us see what is labeled in the question. The one is showing that the hydrilla species are placed in an upturned funnel. 2 shows that it is placed in a beaker. 3 shows that it is being placed in the pond water. 4 shows that there is a small amount of NaHCO3. 5th shows that this end of the funnel is covered by a measuring cylinder. 6th shows that there is some air which is trapped, and the 7th shows that a light bulb is used as the source. Now let us get into the statements. What are the statements? There are 4 statements which are given and we are asked to identify the correct ones. So if you see, if more NaHCO3 is added to the water, more bubbles could be observed. If more NaHCO3 is added, then there will be more production of the CO2. When there will be more production of the CO2, there will be definitely more photosynthesis occurring. When more photosynthesis would be occurring, the carbon dioxide will be used by the hydrilla and it will give on oxygen. When it will give oxygen, definitely it will produce more bubbles. So this is a correct option. Next statement says, if the light is changed from white to blue at the same intensity, more bubbles could be observed. The light has been changed from white to blue. Blue is a optimum color for the process of the chlorophyll for the process of photosynthesis. So if the light is changed from white to blue, definitely the rate of photosynthesis will be increased and there will be more bubbles which would be observed due to the more production of the oxygen. So statement 2 is also correct. Coming to the third statement, if the light is changed from white to green light at the same intensity, more bubbles could be observed. Green light is not at all encouraging for the process of photosynthesis. It does not show any reaction for the process of photosynthesis. So it will rather decrease the rate of photosynthesis than increasing the rate of photosynthesis. So there will be no production of the bubbles. So that is a wrong statement. Option 4. The statement 4 says, after 3 hours of experiment, the air inside the cylinder is mostly carbon dioxide. After 3 hours of experiment, carbon dioxide will be definitely used up by the hydrilla. When it will use up the hydrilla, it will give oxygen but not carbon dioxide. So after 3 hours of the experiment, cylinder will not be having carbon dioxide, rather it will be having oxygen. So this statement is also wrong. So they are asking which of the following statements are correct. So the correct option would be B option, which says 1 and 2. Coming to the next question, where does carbon go? Here in the question they are asking which of the following direction does the carbon dioxide move during internal respiration. What is internal respiration? Internal respiration is also called as cellular respiration. Cellular respiration, the exchange of gases which is taking place at the cellular level. So what exactly is happening? The oxygen is moving into the tissues. Whatever the glucose it is having, the simpler substances, they are being oxidized and it will give out carbon dioxide and energy. Energy is utilized by the cell, whereas this carbon dioxide at the cellular level will move from the tissues into the blood, The very first option itself tells you that the movement of carbon dioxide is from tissues into the blood. So option A would be the correct option. Coming to the next question, the heart's blood highway. It is about the circulation. It is a question from blood circulation. So if you see here, your blood alternates between your body's pulmonary circuit and systemic circuit through various vessels and chambers. Below is a list of vessels and structures that are associated with your heart. What is the correct order for the flow of the blood entering into systemic circulation? We know very well. Simple form of diagram I am drawing. Okay, we know this very well. So usually this is how the circuit is. Here this is called as pulmonary circuit and this is called as systemic circuit. Here there are tissues. We have tissues. They are asking about the movement of the deoxygenated blood that is occurring in the systemic circuit. Now what exactly is happening in systemic circuit? The deoxygenated blood is moving from here into the right atrium. It is moving into the right atrium. So how exactly it is moving? It is moving by the help of systemic veins, which are also called as vena cava. So the first one would be systemic vein or vena cava. This would be number 1. From there it is moving into the right atrium. From right atrium it moves into the right ventricle. Then from right atrium it moves into the right ventricle. From right ventricle it will be moving into the pulmonary trunk. From the pulmonary trunk it will be moving into the pulmonary veins. From the pulmonary veins it enters into the left atrium. This will be number 6, left atrium. After left atrium it enters into the left ventricle. After left ventricle it is distributed to the different parts of the body by the help of aorta. This would be number 8. So it is moving by the help of aorta. Now see what will be number 1? 5, 1, 3, 7, 5, 1, 3. This would be the correct option. Check the remaining also. 7 and then 8. Yes, we have 8 and then 2, 4 and 6. Yes, so option 4 would be the most appropriate answer. Let us move to the next question. Cardiac output surprise. Before getting into this question, you should know what exactly is cardiac output. Before letting to know cardiac output, you should know what is stroke volume. Stroke volume is the volume of blood which is pumped by each ventricle is called as stroke volume, which is said to be approximately 70 ml. Now coming to cardiac output, the volume of blood pumped by each ventricle in 1 minute extension in 1 minute is called as cardiac output, which would be equal to stroke volume into number of times the heart beat in a minute. Now let us get into the question. Daksha decided to go for a run. What change, if any, would you expect to see in the cardiac output of her? When she decided to run, then the activity has increased. Because there is activity in the body, definitely the heart will increase the pumping of the blood. Heart will increase the pumping of the blood, definitely means that the cardiac output would increase. Definitely means that the cardiac output would increase, because stroke volume will increase. Stroke volume increased matlab cardiac output will automatically increase. Next question says, this is a question about the nerve. Okay, it is from the neural control. If you see this question, movement of sodium and calcium ions at the nerve terminal end is shown. Accordingly, which of the following options is the most accurate observation made from the nerve terminal of an individual suffering from hypercalcemia? What is hypercalcemia? Hypercalcemia is increased Ca plus 2. It is increased Ca plus 2. Now let us get into the options. Increased depolarization as well as synaptic vesicle fusion causes hyperexcitability of the neurons. First, let us analyze the diagram. If we analyze the diagram, because of the high intensity or high concentration of the calcium ions, definitely there will be low concentration of the Na plus ions. Definitely there will be low concentration of Na plus ions. When there will be low concentration of Na plus ions, how will the nerve get polarized? So there will be reduced depolarization. There will be reduced depolarization. The nerve is not getting polarized, so will there be any fusion? Okay, let us see about the Ca plus 2 as well. If we consider the Ca plus 2, because there is reduced Na plus, there will be no movement in the synaptic vesicles as well. When there will be no movement in the synaptic vesicle have neurotransmitter, so the neurotransmitters will also be not released. So what happens? There is reduced synaptic vesicle fusion, which will directly affect the muscle function. Did you understand this concept? Yes. So if you see, according to this diagram and the condition which is given, that is hypercalcemia, which is increased Ca plus 2 in the blood. Because of increased Ca plus 2, Na plus will be decreased. When outside the membrane, the Na plus ions, outside the membrane there should be Na plus ions. Na plus ions have decreased. When Na plus ions have decreased, the depolarization will be decreased. When the depolarization is decreased, Ca plus 2 will not get the threshold stimulus which is required for the movement of the synaptic vesicles. When the movement of the synaptic vesicles will not take place, there will be no fusion of the synaptic vesicles. So the neurotransmitters will not be released, which will affect the muscle function. Coming to the next question, this is a question from genetics. Hereditary afflictions that are X-linked recessive will mainly affect the. Now, the X-linked recessive traits mainly affect the male of the subsequent generation. So if you see here, daughters will not be affected because there is chance, there is 50-50 chance, because if the other X is also recessive, then only the daughters will be affected. But if you see the son, the case of sons will definitely be affected, because only one X chromosome is present, and that X chromosome is also recessive या dominant कुछ भी हो, it will be definitely affecting, because the trait is a X-linked trait. So the option for the X-linked recessive will mainly affect the sons, Coming to the next question, communicable disease is the best described as. Communicable disease means the diseases which could be transferred from one person to the other person is what is called as a communicable disease. So here if you see, option B says that diseases that are spread from one person or organism to another is called as a communicable disease. This was a pretty easy question. Let us get into the next question. Which of the following statements are true? They are asking about the true statements. At low concentration, auxin stimulates the root cap to elongate. Auxin do help in elongation, but auxin, here is the error in the cap, because this auxin usually acts upon the zone of elongation, acts upon the zone of elongation for showing the elongation of the roots. So this would be a wrong statement. Coming to statement 2, the effects of auxin are confined to the regions in which it is synthesized. This though is absolutely a wrong statement. Why? Because the effect of auxin do not confine to a particular area only where it is synthesized, but it could show its effect to the other parts as well. So this is also a wrong statement. Coming to statement 3, auxin stimulates gravitropism in roots. Yes, due to the presence of auxin, it is showing positive geotropism. Matlab, roots show positive geotropism towards the ground. That is because of the auxin. Auxin stimulates the gravitropism in roots. So this is a correct statement. Auxin is transported through the plant in an active cell-to-cell manner. This is also a correct statement because auxin is usually transmitted from one cell, it will pass on to the next, this will pass on to the next cell. So it is transported in a cell-to-cell manner. So this statement is also correct. So which are the correct statements? 3 and 4 are the correct statements. Coming to the next question, which of the following may be pathogenic organisms? What are pathogenic organisms? The organisms which are usually causing diseases. The disease causing organisms are called as pathogens. Bacteria can cause a disease. Virus, yes, it can cause a disease. Prions, no. Fungi, yes. And protozoa can do cause a disease. So bacteria, virus, fungi and protozoa cause disease. 1, 2, 4 and 5. Option D says that they are the pathogenic organisms. Coming to the next question, this is showing the directional movement of substances. Okay, so from the atmosphere, CO2 is moving into the leaf cells. From the alveoli, O2 is moving into the capillaries. From the small intestine, glucose is moving again into the capillaries. What is the common or what is the example? These three would be the example of which of the following physiological mechanisms. Absorption, it could not be possible because these two are not for absorption. Assimilation, nowhere related. So this is also eliminated. Coming to diffusion, yes. Here the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere gets diffused into the leaf cells. Oxygen from the alveoli gets diffused into the capillaries. Glucose from small intestine gets diffused into the capillaries. So diffusion would be the correct statement. Moving on to the next question, we have been given a diagram over here. This is an animal tissue. Let us first identify the diagram. What is the diagram? This diagram is nothing but a areolar tissue. Areolar tissue. Now let us analyze the options. They are asking which one is correct statement regarding this. First option says it is a dense connective tissue that stores fat and insulates the body against the heat loss. Retake. ఒకటి అది ఏరియోలార్ టిష్యూ కాదు ఎడిపోజ్ నేను ఒకటి రీటేక్ స్టాప్ చేసి మళ్ళీ కంటిన్యూ చేసేనా అది ఎడిట్ చేస్తారా ఈ క్వశ్చన్ మళ్ళీ చెప్తాను ఓకే Now coming to this question is about an animal tissue. When we are talking about animal tissue, there is a diagram which is given. Let us first identify what exactly is that diagram. Okay, so here in that diagram, you can see different types of cells are there. It is a dense connective tissue that stores fat and insulates the body against heat loss. First of all, the diagram which is given over here, it is not a dense connective tissue, but it is a loose connective tissue. It is a loose connective tissue. Next question says it is a loose connective tissue that acts as a packaging and supporting between the organs lying in the body cavity. Yes, it does help in the packaging of the supporting tissue for the organs which are lying in the body cavity. So this would be a correct option. Next, it is a loose connective tissue that is connecting the skeletal muscles to bone. First thing, it is loose connective tissue, but the one which connects skeletal muscle to bone is called as a tendon, and tendon is a dense connective tissue. Tendon is a dense connective tissue. It is a dense connective tissue that is found beneath the skin and the covering of the heart. Beneath the skin would be right option, but the covering of the heart is having the epithelium as well as connective tissue. As well as connective tissue. Okay, this is nothing but a areolar tissue. It is nothing but a areolar tissue. The diagram is areolar tissue. Okay, come to the next question. This is regarding the salt balance. Referring to the diagram showing the organ X of the human body and read the following paragraph. Organ X is nothing but the adrenal gland. It is nothing but the adrenal gland. Okay, organ X secretes two hormones P and Q. What are the two hormones? There are different hormones. Let us see the remaining question. P prepares our body to function at the maximum efficiency during emergency situation. The emergency situation hormone would definitely be an adrenaline. So P is adrenaline, whereas Q maintains the correct salt balance in the body. We know it. Aldosterone is helpful for the reabsorption of the potassium ions for the maintaining of the salt balance. So Q would be aldosterone. So P is adrenaline, whereas Q is aldosterone. I hope this session was useful for you. Thank you.